YouTube? This is James467 talking about Ajax's nerf and do I feel if it's necessary. No, it is not necessary. The minor changes that they made to him will suffice. However, I do not feel that the 9-bang should have got nerfed as it has. There are weaknesses around Ajax. First off, to get around his shield, all you have to do is basically get behind him. Which is basically, he's not that fast in his shield mode, so as long as you as long as you hit L1 and lock down his shield, he's not that fast. But you could still get around him before he locked it. So, number 2, the counter Ajax should have been FMJ, because you could shoot through the shield, because it's basically an item, and basically what the FMJ was supposed to do is let you shoot through objects and walls, so that should have damaged him as well. Not only that, tactical mask should have been a counter to his 9-bang as well from the start, because a lot of people in this game only use certain perks, and I use Ghost and Dead Silence even though they don't do what they're supposed to do. And Gung Ho. I only use the same perk setup, so basically that's on other people if they don't change their perk setup. I shouldn't have been basically punished for people's playstyle that don't run tactical mask, and that's on Treyarch and for releasing the game half as it should, the perks not doing what they should, not being balanced. A lot of people run the same perk setup is what I'm trying to say. Like, the other perks don't really have any balance and stuff like that. And 2, I feel like they shouldn't have nerfed the 9-bang like they did, because basically if you hit someone and you're on a long distance map, you have to run that distance to get them. Even with Gung Ho and Lightweight, you still won't be able to find them. Like, you get a hit indication that you found them, but they could be gone before the effect of the 9-bang ended, unless you know and how to spawn trap people and exactly know where they're at in corners and know the map layout. That's another thing, like, I really don't understand. Like, see, that guy's already gone when I threw the 9-bang. And this is like a short map. That's what the nerf did. They like get away so quick before you can even kill them. That's how bad they nerfed it into the ground. If they focused on these changes and did everything like they were supposed to, you know, it wouldn't have been a problem. I agree that you should be able to damage his shield, but the 9-bang is basically my way to deal with people who were camping and hiding. And not only that, what really made me mad is when they nerfed the 9-bang. Like, a lot of people saying specialists are overpowered. No, if you found a way to counter them, people make counter videos all the time for specialists. Like, they're not overpowered. There's easy ways around these guys as a whole. Not only that, like, people saying Torgs for campers, you know, like, his razor wire doesn't stand a chance against a rocket. Yeah, it takes 3 or 4 rockets to hit his barricade, but still, like, it's still breakable with, like, bullets and stuff. Damn it. But, you know, like, people want to say these guys are overpowered. No, they just need, like, different weaknesses, like I mentioned. You know, like a Hellstorm missile could take him out if he's got his shield locked. There's, like, certain streaks that can take him out as a whole. It's just one of those things, like, things shouldn't be nerfed in oblivion. I believe in finding a balance for, like, characters and specialists as a whole. But I agree with, like, him taking damage, you shoot him even though his shield's locked down. But the 9-bang, it's not overpowered. Like, half the time the people could get away with it. It gives you a hit indicator, but you're still able to get away with it, depending on the size of the map. And another reason why I say it shouldn't be nerfed is, think about it this way. You have to basically unlock Molotovs, concussions, frag grenades, and you unlock those fairly late in the game. as a whole. So that's their way of giving you a concussion right off the back. And in the other Call of Duties, you were able to fairly get concussions, frag grenades, all that stuff right off the back. So that's their way to balance it. I know a lot of people are going to be like, oh, just get rid of specialists in general. I mean, I am a fan of the specialist. Like, that's my way of telling if people were there or not. Because a lot of people tend to hide around these corners. And COD's not doing anything basically about it. So basically, Ajax was a way to punish campers. Like I said, if you knew the spawn, it's not that big of a deal. And I shouldn't be punished for people's playstyle as a whole. Because they... Not only that, the perks only tell you certain things that they protect against. And a lot of people should have knew that going into it. Because basically the 9 bang is, all it is a concussion. I honestly hope they find a balance and eventually Ajax could get back into where he was as a whole and as a specialist character. Everyone's like, oh, nerf the profit car. If tactical mass basically gave you somewhat decent resistance, we wouldn't need a nerf. Everything would be balanced. It's just what irritates me about this game. Like, people, like I said, they don't comprehend that there's ways around them. Like, you just have to test it. Like, go into a game with a friend. Like, these guys have weaknesses. They're not invincible. If they were invincible, everybody wouldn't be playing Call of Duty. As a whole. This is just what irritates me. Like, learn ways around things. Not everything needs a nerf. This guy just got me with the sniper rifle, spamming it, camping in a corner. See, this is what I mean. Like, camping in a corner, this is not needed in this game. As someone who runs and guns, this is just the point I'm trying to make. This game needs balance. But back to Ajax, no, his nerf was not necessary. He just needed ways to counter around it. Think of it as like Overwatch, right? Here's a good point. Overwatch has many counters and balances as a whole. Think of them as a specialist in Overwatch. If they have weaknesses, yeah, they're more easily beatable than what they should be. That's what I'm trying to get here. There's not enough counteract and balances. By the time I'm making this video, yeah, there is. Now, all I'm saying is people don't change their perk setup. And they should. But I feel it wasn't necessary. Because a lot of people says, ooh, Ajax is cancer. Well, that's all how you really use the specialist. If you basically take advantage of it and abuse stuff, yeah. I shouldn't be punished for people abusing stuff. Especially when I was new to the game. That's like basically saying, oh, score streaks are overpowered. No, you just gotta find ways around them. I recently watched a video on a score streak how to take out a strike team basically with one fucking tomahawk hit to the face. On the strike team member. No, this isn't a rant video. It's just one of those things like... the more you know, basically, in a game, is what I'm trying to say is basically take the time and learn an enemy's weakness before you go basically griping about something. That's all the COD community does, is gripe about something they don't understand. It just irritates me. Next they're gonna say nerf Prophet, one of the other specialists I use. Nerf Torque, because basically he's a camper's paradise, which is kind of true, but like I said, there's ways around these guys. Rocket's Hope against Torque. You could basically destroy Prophet's car. His car gets glitched sometimes if he goes after more than one specialist in person, so, you know, it's not that at the end of the world. Now you can run Tactical Mask and you basically destroy the car if you're fast enough. See, these are like 3 weaknesses I named off the specialist, like, but people don't care. They want balance in the game. And I understand where they're coming from. I want balance. I want people to stop fucking camping. I'm all for balance and order, but, you know, you gotta meet someone halfway. But if you guys liked the video, found it informative, like, drop a like, guys. Like I said, it helps me out. It lets me know who's watching the content, so I know who to support back. Thank you guys, and, you know, I tried not to make this a rant video. It's just one of those things, like, if people took the time to play games and learn weaknesses, it's basically like, kind of like a boss type deal when you go into a boss fight, or if you're new to a video game, just take the time to learn things. I'm not saying my opinion's right or wrong, but, you know, or I'm saying their opinion's right or wrong to, like, nerf Ajax. That's just their honest opinion and feedback. They're probably, like, people who are new to the game. When you get people new to the game, like Call of Duty, before it was even out, multiplayer, people find the most overpowered thing and cling to it for a little bit. That's what pisses people off as a whole. That's not how a game should be done, but also, at the end of the day, they don't try to find weaknesses around it. They just want to gripe and complain. That's basically like someone who plays Overwatch, who gets hit with ultimate specials. A lot of people can combine these, a lot of people will combine basically like certain specials together as a whole and just end up making people mad. That's like combining a 9-bang, let's see what else, 9-bang and like heat break. That's what will piss a lot of people off as a whole. But something shouldn't be nerfed because they don't understand it. That's what I'm trying to say as a balance. There's pros and cons to everything. In general, at the end of the day, should he got nerfed? No. Because people didn't like him? That's just basically a bias. That's like saying Tracer needs a nerf in Overwatch because she's too fast. Learn her patterns. Learn how the specialist attacks. And then again, some of the responsibility relies on the programmer and the people who made the game. So don't get mad at Ajax. He didn't do nothing wrong. Try to look at it a half-empty glass scenario. Gamers, they adapt. People who are new to the game, I understand that they be like, okay, not a lot of info was leaked on the specialist, but You know, find out before